So Predictive Index is actually in its 70th year now. It was founded back in the 1950s by a guy named Arnold Daniels. Arnold was actually a bombardier in the Second World War, and the story goes that the average mortality rate for bombardiers was about 50%, 50. So you can imagine this was a major problem for the US Army Air Corps, as it was called at the time. They started bringing in successful bombing teams to understand what made them different. Arnold's team had gone on over 30 missions without a single fatality, so they were seen as a dramatic outlier. He was paired up with a psychologist that had basically studied team dynamics of these bombing teams to understand how people were likely going to react in fight or flight situations. You know, when you're in a stressful combat situation and you can't think your way through everything, you got to just react. That's the kind of stuff they were measuring. Arnold was fascinated how this use of assessments could potentially save your life in a combat situation, went and studied at Harvard and Boston and developed the first versions of the Predictive Index checklist back in the 1950s to help teams and organizations make use of the same technology. Fast forward 70 years, we've had 5 science updates. The latest one was just a few years ago. They brought in the University of Illinois, which is a global leader on psychometrics, to look under the hood, make sure that's tuned up for today's business world. So you're getting an assessment that's got 70 years of history tuned up for today's business environment.